Well, hello everybody and welcome to Unearthed. My name is Jess Wraight. I'm the Product Education Manager here and I'm absolutely delighted to have a very special and interesting edition of Unearthed today with my beautiful friend, my colleague, Dee. So welcome, Dee, to Unearthed.
Thank you very much for having me, everybody. Hi, everyone. My name is Deanne, and I am the account manager. I also have this special job in Doterra to be able to co-run and run the mentoring programs here.
Fantastic. So thank you so much for taking time out of your really crazy busy day, because I know that we're all very, very busy at the moment and there is a lot going on, but it's really, really exciting to be able to get this opportunity to talk with you because you are an expert in a particular program that I would love to talk about today and the oils that are involved in this program. So before we delve into all of the essential oils, and everyone get your pens and your paper ready, I hope you're all geared up for a huge amount of knowledge and expertise today. But Dee, I really want to know a little bit more about the program that you're looking after.
Incredible. So on the 1st of July, we will be starting our Grow program. So Grow first came about in 2021 at the end of the year there, and we have seen so much incredible stories coming out of our Grow programs. And this year, Jess, I've done something a little bit different with our Grow programs. I want you to think of Grow as this soft, nurturing business opportunity for you in your doTERRA business. I want you to think about pushing yourself in a supportive community environment. And this month in May, you can qualify to be a part of this program.
Fantastic. So it's this particular month that if you qualify, you're able to enter this program to grow. And I'm picturing it just like we plant a seed in the ground and then it grows to become a beautiful plant, which we all love and love. Is that what
that is actually what it is. It is about those little conversations that you've been having with people or little things that you've been working on yourself for your doTERRA business. And we get to see this journey of where it turns from a seed to a seedling, to a shrub, to into a full-blown tree. And this 2 months, so it's a 60-day program, definitely gives you that. It sets you up for success.
Perfect. So whether or not you're actually involved in a program like this, you'll obviously get a huge amount of information today that you can leverage for your own personal use, or whether you're wanting to share this information with others. Before we go any deeper into the program and the oils we'll talk about, I really want to highlight who we are as a company. doTERRA, and I don't like to use the word company because to me it doesn't feel like it's a company. It's family. We work together daily and we become sisters in arms when we're working towards the greater purpose. And I really love the fact that together we'll triple our impact by 2030. This is the mission statement and the commitment that doTERRA have made to the world to continue to help the world heal, one drop, one person, one community at a time. At doTERRA, we appreciate the power of people and pure intentions to heal the world. We designed our business to intentionally help people financially, emotionally, with education about healthy living, and through a sense of belonging to a community. I really adore how this harnesses who we are and what we do. And then it really leads in beautifully to programs such as Grow, because on one end of the spectrum, you think about Grow as a business building opportunity. And this is how I can make money. This is how I can support my families. And let's be honest, money is not a dirty word. We can talk about that safely here. But on the flip side, it's also about heart and about connecting with those who need help, who need support, who want to hear about the beauty that we have to offer. So I think that this statement really amplifies who we are as a business and what we're trying to achieve. What do you think about that, Dee?
Oh, I absolutely agree. And just the Grow program, and whether you're in it or you want to be in it or you don't know much about it, today we're going to be able to go through some incredible oils. But the Grow program, it really builds upon your confidence. But the most important thing about Grow, so coming back to the analogy of those seedlings, each little seedling that you're planting actually comes back into why you love the products and your belief in the products and the belief in being able to connect into your community, the belief in understanding what's behind the bottle through our co-impact sourcing and the journey that these oils have, you know, from all the way from the growers of when they start as seedlings all the way to when they end up in our bottles. the Grow program allows you to really tap into that belief system of revolutionizing people's lives and also reconnecting into how these bottles have actually revolutionized your own life. So that whole belief system, the whole sense of the community and being surrounded by like-minded people is where the Grow program will really lead you.
Absolutely. So for those who are interested in the program, where can we find out more information?
Great question. So you can head over to our website on our Australia or our New Zealand website, and there is a section called Grow there. So to qualify for Grow this year, we've done something a little bit different. If you are a consultant to Premier Leader, all you need is one personal enrollment of 100 PV. And if you're a silver to our platinum leader, you will need 2 personal enrollments in the month of May of 100 PV or more. And all further T's and C's can be found on our Doterra websites. You'll also find, actually, Jess, on the virtual office or on the .com sites, you'll see banners talking about Grow. Click on that. It's a simple way to find it and navigate through our websites.
Well, that's fantastic. I think the website is a resource that we tend to forget to go to. We rely heavily on what happens on social media or what we see in the team app, for example. So it's nice to be reminded that we've got these resources on the .com. Yeah, absolutely. Now, there's something pretty cool about being involved in the Grow program. You get freebies. Can you talk?
You get freebies, but the most special thing about the Grow program is it comes back into that triple the impact. It's about how can I pay it forward? How can I come of service to others? And that's really the mindset where I want to be able to bring people back into that service and that being able to pay it forward. So through Grow this year, you have the power to be able to enroll people into doTERRA, but you actually can give them an extra free oil. So we have created 6 incredible oils and grouped them into 3. So there are 3 oils that you'll be able to gift on and share the power of the essential oils further in the month of July, as well as 3 in August as well. The way that I've actually designed these oils, Jess, is the first 3 oils of Anchor, Neroli, and Aroma Chamomile will be the oils that you see in July. I want you to think about coming in to nourish yourself. I want you to come and think about the feelings of really anchoring and de-stressing and kind of coming into that sense of wholesome and wholeness. Then in August, I want you to take your new customers and your new enrollments into a journey of coming together, feeling energized, motivated, but with clarity and focus as well. So those special 3 oils of the Thinker Blend, the Motivate, and the Balanced Touch is what you'll see in August.
These are, and no word of a lie, these 6 are so heavily used in my home that this was an easy project. This was an easy conversation for us to have. And I know that we tasked each other, let's come up with some really incredible ideas to share how we can use these essential oils in our homes and our lives. And that's what we will go through today. But it wasn't difficult because I do have this habit of using them. And that's where this empowerment comes from. When you do find that these essential oils can support you in either ditch and switch ideas that you might have, or even just supporting the home in more natural kind of solutions in the bathroom, for example, or in your skincare. These are incredible oils to help you on that journey. So I'm really looking forward to asking you your advice, your opinions. So please sing out whenever you've got an idea, but let's roll through these essential oils today and talk about their benefits. Now, firstly, we've got the Anchor blend, which comes in our yoga collection, a beautiful, beautiful collection of 3 essential oils. We get the Anchor in July. Great, fantastic. I wanted to make sure I got that correct. This particular oil it's a blend, and it has lavender, cedarwood, sandalwood, cinnamon, frankincense, black pepper, and patchouli in a base of fractionated coconut oil. And it really helps to support your connection to yourself, like you mentioned as well, your community, your emotional balance, your harmony, but then also appreciating who you are as a person so that you've got that innate confidence, that wisdom to be able to teach someone what they may need to hear, or even just getting that confidence to speak up in front of a group of people, for example. It's a really beautiful, beautiful blend. But when I look at the actual specifics of those oils, you've got some powerhouse friends in there. Lavender is renowned for being so calming, so relaxing. It's so high in the constituents linalool and linalool acetate that when you smell it, you immediately drop your shoulders. Such a familiar aroma. When you pair that with oils like cedarwood and sandalwood, which are just come from these beautiful, great big trees, there's a sense of resilience that comes into play. Then you can look at the likes of frankincense, king of oils, fantastic for so many reasons. And then all of a sudden my mind starts thinking, well, hang on a second, this would be really great for skin. Now, whilst you can diffuse it and you're going to be feeling this really calming, grounding nature, you're able to utilize it in your yoga, in your meditation. You could be using it just for some mindfulness in the mornings. My mind goes to skin, no surprises there, but how I can support my family in their skin's regeneration, rejuvenation, its way of functioning of sorts. Before I move to my DIY, how do you like to use Anchor?
So it's funny you mentioned skin because I have a little trick that I do at nighttime. So this blend here specifically, I like to put in my diffuser at night and I like to pair it with different oils. So if I'm feeling like I really haven't had a good night's sleep, I might pair it with Vertiva at night, my diffuser. If I feel like I need that extra gentleness to get me to sleep, I'll actually pair it with marjoram. That's probably my favorite combination at the moment. I'm really gravitating towards that. But another thing that I do, Jess, is I actually add 1 drop of Anchor to my nighttime moisturizer. So I'm instantly getting, like when you're talking about the lavender, that restfulness in my skin. The other thing I will do, a couple of tips and tricks from me, but I'll actually pop Anchor into my hand like I was doing while Jess was talking. But the first thing I will actually do at nighttime is I'll actually run my hands through the ends of my hair. So as I'm getting ready for bed, I put it into my face and then I'll slowly start putting it through my hair as well, the residue, because as I'm sleeping and I'm moving around, I'll subtly start to get those soft wafts of that beautiful fragrance that is Anchor, so that I'm getting that whole body experience and that motion of the shoulders dropping and letting these powerhouse oils through and work their magic.
Yeah.
Pretty special. It's pretty incredible. So give it a go.
There's some really good ideas. And because it's blended with, when I say blended, I mean that it's in a base of fractionated coconut oil. Really interestingly, because a lot of people assume that when you blend or you mix essential oils with something like a carrier oil, with FCO, for example, that it's going to dilute it. It's going to reduce its efficacy of sorts. But it's actually the opposite. When we combine essential oils with a base of fractionated coconut oil, which comes in a blend like this, or you can do it yourself by popping some some fractionated coconut oil and then the essential oils in the palm of your hand, for example, to apply. What it's actually going to do is help to piggyback those essential oils to where you'd like it to go, so into your skin. Interestingly, it also helps to support the top layers of your skin from any kind of reactions. So when you're topically applying it, for example, on a child, you don't necessarily need to apply any additional carrier oils or fractionated coconut oil in this instance because it's already pre-blended in this instance, similar to a touch version of a product. You just need to use less drops because whilst it doesn't reduce its efficacy, the essential oils are powerful. So by using 1 drop versus 3 drops when you're using it on little bodies or more sensitive skins or the older generation, you just reduce its drops. But for someone like yourself, you're right. You could do 1 or 2 drops in your moisturizer and then apply it and put it through the ends of your hair as well. And that's a gorgeous way to, get those aromatic benefits that last all through the night, which is delightful.
And one thing I love about this oil as well, coming into the Grow program though, Jess, is that this is the first oil that they may receive that is outside of their enrollment kit. So it is a part, as you mentioned, of the yoga kit. So it's exploring and being able to share with brand new people something a little bit different, a blend that they may not have gone for because they don't know much about it. Like, what does Anchor really mean? And what do these powerhouse oils mean? But the power of Grow in July with Anchor is you get to share this gift of this grounding, calming, warm, big hug that Anchor gives you straight off the bat. So you're sharing that instant experience with someone in July through Grow.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I think as well, and to your point, when you do first, I guess, enroll somebody or introduce somebody to essential oils, the concept of blending, putting oils together can be really scary. You don't think that florals and resins and wood oils and a bit of citrus would work together. And so the beauty of these kinds of oils like Anchor is that it teaches people that you can do a little bit of these types of oils and they work so harmoniously together.
Absolutely.
This is my DIY that I came up with for Anchor, and there was a couple of reasons for it. A, I love skin. B, I'm a mama of 2 young kids, so I want to make sure that the kids are going to be supported. And C, I need a bit of me time. I'm tired. My skin's tired now. The weather's starting to turn a little bit cooler. And so we really need to help that exfoliation style process happen so that our skin is supported and functions properly. So I really like a sugar scrub because it's not too abrasive on the skin. You can select different types of sugars pending what kind of aromatic profile you want to get. If you use a brown sugar, it's going to have that really rich, caramelized, sweet aroma. And it's almost a bit creamy, a little bit buttery. If you use a raw sugar, it's going to have a little bit more of that straight vanilla style aromatic. You could do an icing sugar if you wanted a softer, sweeter, fluffier style. So, there's so many different sugars out there, and the benefit is that popping sugar on the body is different to ingesting sugar. So we don't need to be afraid of that product if you're on a bit of a health journey yourself. I know that you and I have both done a very similar recipe before in terms of a scrub, and it's very similar. You take a glass jar, it could be a small, it could be a medium style jar, something that's got a lid on it. You want to fill it up about 3/4 full with your sugar base. You can mix a couple of sugars if you wanted to. You could easily add some oats if you wanted to as well, just to add a bit of that nurturing essence to it. And then you slowly add fractionated coconut oil and you mix it through until you reach the consistency that you're specifically after. Just remember, the more fractionated coconut oil that you pop into the jar, the more slippery. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be frank, this is my mum hat going on right now. The more dangerous it's going to be. We've all been in the shower when we've used something just a little bit too slippery, and then what happens? You're hanging onto the sides, making sure you don't go upside down. So in the interest of safety, everybody, make sure that consistent, let's see, is almost a bit of a gritty feel. It's got a very slight oily undertone, but it's got that bit of that grit. That oil is going to sit beautifully on top of your skin as well, even after you rinse it off, because we know oil and water don't like to mix. So I would be utilising this scrub in the shower. You could do it in the bath. Once you've added those drops, you can just use it as desired. You can use as much as you like. I always use my scrubs in a circular motion. I think it helps to stimulate flow within the skin. And then rinse yourself off properly and then lather yourself in moisturizer afterwards. And it's delightful. So enjoy it. And it's so easy to make. What a fun little DIY that you can do, tonight after work, for example. Next, we have Neroli Touch. I love Neroli. I know you love Neroli. What do you love most?
I think this oil is almost not used enough because she's so versatile. Like I love to put her on my skin underneath, almost like a serum before like my moisturizer.
Yeah, right.
I love to be able to wear her as a perfume as well. So I love the versatility. And each time I wear Neroli, I pick up a different note in the blend of it. It's unique and beautiful every single time I put it on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so interesting because when you see the color of the bottle, your mind goes to the oranges, the citruses, and you'll probably notice that the majority of our doTERRA bottles, the color of the packaging kind of mirrors the type of oil that it is as well. Very clever. And you'd be right if you think that it does come, from a citrusy based aroma, because it does come from the bitter orange tree. And there are actually 3 different oils that we get from this tree. There's orange, that's from the orange peel. We've got petitgrain from the leaves and twigs, and then neroli from the flower. And it's a beautiful oil that does kind of 2 things at once. It's almost similar to bergamot in that instance, where it's got the really calming, relaxing, beautiful down, calming nature of the oil. But then you've also got the citrusy, which is classically uplift. And that's really great for people who are just joining doTERRA to know that you have got oils that can kind of do two things at once, dependent on when you use it, how you use it, and it's always in the eye of the beholder, how it impacts you. I really love Neroli as a pure fume. I find that it does have that very relaxing property to it while still smelling fresh. It's actually really, really high in linalool and linalool acetate, so similar to lavender in that instance as well. So it does play into that whole calming, relaxing nighttime aroma, but it'll also be perfect to start the day. So I actually have created a bit of a pure fume style education for this particular oil, because we're talking about pure fumes a lot. And for those that aren't familiar with our why, perfumes are crafted from very clever scientists who have put a whole bunch of aromas together and said, this smells beautiful. The trouble with chemically made perfumes is that they have fragrance in them, and fragrance is a myriad of hundreds, if not thousands, of toxic chemicals that can impact the way you breathe, the way your skin reacts, mindset and mentality, and even health concerns can play into that. And anyone who has gone down the pure fume path and has ditched their perfumes sure knows when someone's walked past and they've got perfume on now. We've become so sensitive to chemically fragranced products, right? I mean, I think we've all stuck in a lift once or twice, even this week, where we've noticed someone was wearing perfume, and it impacts us because we are consciously choosing to live a more healthier, cleaner life. So I wanted to include this slide in today because this really shows how to create your pure fume. It doesn't have to be just neroli that you apply on your wrists, on your pulse points and behind your ears, for example. You can actually get a bit creative in how you blend these. Have you heard of KIP, the concept KIP?
No.
Because I haven't taught it yet, and I've just made it up. But I'm hoping it I'm hoping it takes hold. KIP for me is about knowledge, intuition, and play. When it comes to essential oils, the way my journey started was I needed to know what they did. I wanted to delve down the rabbit hole. You're very similar, Dee. You were mentioning a story earlier this week about that once you know and you've got a bit of information behind you about what these products do, what their main constituents are, and how they can impact your world, the next step becomes intuition. And by intuition, I mean you might be referring to a bottle because the colour of the bottle takes your fancy. For example, purple at night. I'm drawn to purple. I want to use the purple oils at night. doTERRA are very smart. They know that purple, we intuitively think of the more calming, relaxing style oils. And then play is really about being a little bit of a master chef of sorts and adding a little bit of this and adding a little bit of that and seeing how that works for you. One of our leaders, our dear friend Vanessa Jean, once taught me about aromatic dressing, and she would put 3 bottles of essential oils in her hand, and she would adjust the levels in which the oils are sitting, and then she would have a smell. Now, if that aromatic profile didn't work, you would adjust the levels again until you were happy. And that's where this play comes into it, where once you work out where does neroli sit, and then what are my other 2 oils that I might use in my pure fume, and how am I going to craft this? I might want to layer a root note of frankincense or copaiba or cedarwood, something that's going to be earthy and strong and has depth. I naturally think of the wood or the resin style oils. And then what's the heart note? What are those floral, gentle, grounding style oils that could play into that heart note, which classically last around the middle amount of time. This slide's fantastic because it shows how long they last as well on the skin. So it really shows you that profile. And then the crown note. So if we were to do frankincense, neroli, and maybe bergamot, where would they sit? Would that aromatic profile suit you? What are you trying to achieve with your pure fume? And then how would you layer that? Or how would you craft that in your own DIY bottle? Have you made pure fumes before? And if so, how would you make a neroli pure fume? What would be your blend?
I have played around with them. So I like to use sometimes just even using the touches that Doterra has to be able to roll them on myself to be able to create that unique pure fume. But I've made one recently, coincidentally, using neroli. So I actually used sandalwood as my root note. I used neroli, and then I actually included, if something you should include it, is grapefruit. So I had this earthy, uplifting, sweet scent. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I really gravitated towards it.
And it's interesting, once we've got this knowledge, empowerment comes in and you feel a little bit more confident to be able to have a bit of a play. So for those of you watching this educational training today, I'd encourage you to get out a group of oils and start having a play. Put those oils together and go, what is more grounding and earthly? What's a root oil? What's a resin style oil? What's even a herb oil would play into that root note beautifully? And then what's going to be sitting in that floral space as a heart note, and then what's going to be that real uplift citrusy style aroma for the crown note. And please let us know. Send us a message on Instagram. Give us a call to one of your account managers. Let us know what your blends are. We would love to hear all of your creativity.
I love that you included play in that, Jess, in your kip. And I think it's going to stick. I really feel like it's going to stick. Because when I first started my oil journey, like you were mentioning, I thought that citruses had to stay with citrus, florals had to stay with florals, and the earthies had to stay with earthies. The understanding of the notes that make up a pure fume along my journey of using the essential oils over the last 10 years has obviously grown. But don't be afraid to play, like Jess said. Like sometimes it works, and sometimes you're like, I don't gravitate towards you today. But if you go try that same combination maybe a couple months later, you might be able intuitively be drawn to it again. So it's exciting and it's fun to play with the oils and see what else you can do with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It is fun. But talking about fun, I don't think this guy gets enough rap. I think that this little guy, Roman Chamomile, is one of my top, I'm going to say top 3 oils that I absolutely adore. I think that its profile is really interesting. I think that its history is really, really interesting. But I also really love the fact that we've got some incredible claim states that we can make against this product now. So Roman Chamomile is classically that really relaxing, beautifully soft, gentle style aroma. Anyone who's had a chamomile tea before is going to be familiar with this particular oil. And it comes from small white daisy-like flowers that have a variety of therapeutic benefits. In fact, it's derived from the Greek anthemis. Speaking to a Greek today, a very proud Greek, meaning little flower. How do you feel about Roman Chamomile?
It's really interesting. My journey with Roman Chamomile over the years, you're right, it is really underused. But for me, when I'm feeling a tightness, when I'm feeling that uneasy unsteadiness in my day, no matter what time of the day it is, could be first thing in the morning. As you know, Jess, I'm also a personal trainer, so I get up super early in the morning sometimes. So when I might be working at night or sitting on the couch and I get that uneasiness in my chest, this is actually my number 1 go-to oil because it is so versatile. But the moment you smell this sweetness, almost like it's got that sweet fragrance to it, it actually almost feels like it's washing away any of that tension that I'm holding, that instant calm on another level that in comparison to Anchor, like we are talking about before, it's something completely different. But this is my go-to for that tightness in my chest.
Well, isn't that interesting? Because that's exactly what it does. And I promise we have not pre-rehearsed this at all. This is quite simply two ladies from the office having a bit of a chin wag today about how much we love these oils.
Yeah.
And yet, whether or not you were aware, which you probably were, no doubt, but whether or not you're aware of what the oils can do for you, you still feel it. You still feel the impact, whether or not you've got that list of benefits, that knowledge that comes through front of mind. So it is listed with the Therapeutics Goods Administration. And what that means is that we have certain claim states that we can make against these products. It's a huge benefit. This is an empowerment piece for all of our customers, our community, to be able to confidently and compliantly talk about Roman chamomile in a way that you can say it's traditionally used in aromatherapy to support and calm nerves. So when you're sitting on the couch and you're feeling like you've got a bit of tension, you're feeling a bit worried, you're maybe dealing with a big deadline at work, or there might be something personally going on in the family, Roman chamomile can support and calm your nerves. It can also support general health and well-being. Now, we are obviously on a huge health train at the moment. The entire world is so much more conscious about how we're living our lives and conscious about our well-being. Roman chamomile supports your overall well-being, and we know how that plays into our mind, our body, and our soul. Now, traditionally used in Western herbal medicine to support the nervous system, and it can also relieve muscle cramping or spasm. When you look at these claims that we can make against the product, not only does it smell beautiful, soft and sweet, it's calming. You can obviously pop it in a tea. We're familiar with that use. I wonder whether people's minds go as crazy as ours do when we see these claim states, to think, hang on, what are some different ways that I can use this product to support my nerves, to relieve muscle cramping, maybe for that time of the month, or you've gone for a big run and your legs are cramping. If you're feeling really stressed at the moment, you're going through some big feelings. Your family might be going through some big feelings. You might have a young tot like I do who doesn't do well with challenges in life sometimes. And is this the type of oil that can support her in this instance? And the answer is yes. That's why I love this so much. It is so darn versatile. So on our website, we've got PIPs, our product information pages. And these are a couple of the ideas that our content team have come up with in terms of how to use it. You can add 1 or 2 drops to your favourite moisturiser, shampoo or conditioner to promote youthful looking skin and hair. Add 1 to 2 drops to herbal teas or hot drinks, or diffuse or apply to bottoms of feet at bedtime. Let's expand on that now. What are some different ways that you would use Roman chamomile?
So for me, so you were talking about making that sugar scrub earlier. I like to actually use Roman chamomile in my sugar scrub, or when I'm making a body wash at home. So if I've run out of our refreshing body wash that I use at home personally, I also always have a DIY version as my backup. Roman chamomile, especially when I'm having a shower at night, in my body wash, it is divine. Not only am I feeling that little luxness that comes with the Roman chamomile scent, it's relaxing and my skin comes out beautifully. I sometimes will pop Roman chamomile when I'm making my own facial serum as well, in there as well. Once again, the glow and the dewiness, and I think that's why I like in my body wash especially. It's beautiful. It really is.
It really, really, really is. So funny you say that, because I actually have combined a couple of different recipes that I've had. We didn't do this deliberately.
We're in sync. We're completely in sync today.
That's what happens when you work too closely together for too long, right? You start end up having the same ideas. But a couple of months ago, I did an Unearthed training with Will Holtman, our wonderful president of Australia and New Zealand, on Aroma Touch blend, the essential oil blend. And I came up with this, what I called the Versatility Oil. It was an 8-in-1 uses of how to use a mixture of carrier oils and some essential oils put together, and all the different ways that you can use it in your beautifying regime of sorts. It went absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. And everyone really loved the multi-use, multi-purpose style approach to DIY. The world's getting more expensive. We have got some serious rocky roads ahead of us. If you own a home and you have a mortgage, things are getting tight. And sometimes it's hard to make these natural choices, especially at the supermarket, if you can't afford the fancy version of a body wash, or you can't afford the natural shampoos and conditioners that Woolworths or an eco store might be selling. This is where this plays in. When you can come up with a DIY that has a multi-purpose, multi-use facet, you're able to not only get rid, so from an aesthetic perspective, get rid of all those bottles in your shower or bathroom, you're also able to save a huge amount of money. And this is so darn easy to make. It's a mixture of argan oil, hemp seed oil, jojoba seed oil, glycerin, and vitamin E. And then I have just swapped out the Aroma Touch blend, which I did have in there, and I've popped in 20 drops of Roman chamomile, 10 drops of geranium, and 10 drops of bergamot. Now, this is me adopting the KIP concept again, so knowledge, intuition, and play. I wanted to think, okay, if Roman chamomile sitting in that sweet, slightly earthy, floral style aroma, geranium and bergamot will blend beautifully with that. But please have a play, see what works for you, and then pop it in this beautiful glass jar or a plastic jar or a tin, whatever suits you best. And you could even add in some herbal tea or some flower buds or some leaves from the garden, just to add a bit of aesthetic pleasing, which always helps.
I love that you've actually put this body oil in here, Jess, because I was very fortunate enough when you were coming up with this recipe, you actually gifted me one to the point of where I think I may have used the 30 ml that you gave me. Maybe I would no more than twice, because my partner loved it so much. He is a tradie, so he actually found using this in the 81 in the shower on his skin as a cleanser was so nourishing for him. As I said, out of a 30 ml bottle, and you just need a couple little drops on your hand, because as you said, oil and water don't really mix, but it's perfect for the cleanser in the shower. I only got 2 uses out of it.
I might have to make you another one, love.
I think you do. And I'm going to write my name all over it and just say it's my one.
Do not touch. Do not touch it. No, exactly. I love the versatility of this. And obviously there's a multitude of different ways. You've just even mentioned another one, a cleanser. But you could do the Nourishing Body Oil. It's a hair serum. It's a salt scalp scrub. This is just a mixture of adding some salt to the oil and massaging it into your scalp. A really important step that people forget about to get rid of that buildup on your scalp for healthy hair growth. Shaving oil, a cuticle and nail oil, cracked heels and dry skin oil, a skin and body cleanser, and then even an all-over body scrub. So what you could do is take that sugar scrub recipe that I mentioned earlier, opt out of the anchor blend if you chose to, and add this in with some sugar, and then you've got a body scrub. So it's a really versatile style product. And if you wanted to adjust your ratio so you can get a larger bottle, so if your partner did happen to nick all the product, there's enough to go around.
I highly recommend making a his and hers, because it sometimes can get feisty as to whose bottle's whose and why are you using mine.
And we know how hard it is to convert our other half to natural living. It's one thing for us to learn ourselves what we need to ditch and switch. It's quite another to then relay that information in a way that your partner hears it, adopts that mentality, and then wants to do it themselves as well. We've all been in those shoes. So the fact that your partner's even contemplating using a natural body oil, I think you're doing some good in your home. So well done. Now, the next oil that we're going to be talking about, and I am conscious of time because we could talk about all of this for hours and hours and hours. But quickly, we've got the Thinker Focus Blend. This is one of our kids' oils, actually, in our kids' collection that we had. And then we noticed that all the adults were using it and realised that, oh, hang on a second, this is actually really good at the desk, at the office. When you're sitting in front of the computer all day, gosh, it can get a bit tiring after a while. And when you really need to create that attention, you really need to tune into your work, Thinker's ace for that. Do you use it at your desk?
I do. It is a staple in my office just behind the door over here. Completely. And 3:30itis, it is real. And but for me, it's that brain fog moment. So I don't have children, but for me, this is a staple on my desk because it does allow me to come into that focus and that clarity. I also sometimes like to pop it on in the morning as a pure fume option too. So because of the beautiful fragrances that it has in there.
Well, it's got vetiver, it's got peppermint, clementine, and rosemary. So they're no basic oils, let's be honest. They're really some heavy hitters there. Vetiver's incredible for relaxing and calming and soothing. I use vetiver most nights for the kiddos to go to sleep. Then you've got peppermint, which is really uplifting and fresh and tingly. Clementine, you've got the citrus, invigorating style approach. You love clementine. And then rosemary, which really helps to, I guess, put those side blinkers on. Go, what do I need to do? What do I need to achieve here? And then you've got that added benefit as well. It's in a touch form, so that's handy for easy to use throughout the day. But let's think about aromatic anchoring for a second. We can biohack the way we are feeling, the way we are thinking, even our mood and our memory on emotions on essential oils. So when you smell an essential oil, when you smell anything, in fact, it triggers your limbic system through your olfactory bulb in your nose. It's going to trigger your limbic system to remember that. So it controls your emotions, your mood, and your memory. So if you're studying, for example, or you need to memorize a speech, or you really need to pop those blinkers on and focus, you can actually harness that feeling, that commitment, that motivation, those emotions there to a particular aroma. So if you are studying, if you're in year 12, guys, and you've got a big exam coming up, I challenge you to use Thinker daily whilst you're studying that work. Because when hopefully you're going through the exam itself, you could smell that oil and remember, hopefully, all your study notes. There's a little biohack from me to you that I wish I had when I was doing BCE.
That is a good one. Absolutely.
It's a lovely one. Now, Miss F45, you are up at silly o'clock most mornings. You've got the energy of a little Energizer Bunny. Is motivate your secret?
It actually really is. And it sounds very cliche, but hand on my heart, it really is, Jess. When you're getting up and the clock starts with a 4 most mornings, this blend, it actually does exactly what the name says. It gives you that motivation. It gives you that extra pep in your step to go for it, no matter what is on the agenda for the day. And as I said, silly o'clock in the morning, it's right there for me.
Yeah, you need it because that's gross. Anything with 4 in it, gross. Not interested. I really love when you think about when you're introducing someone to Doterra, we really love to do the peppermint wild orange smack. Drop a pep, drop a wild orange, put them together and smell it and see how you feel. And that's a really impactful way to teach people the power of essential oils, the power of combining essential oils, and how that can make you feel instantly refreshed and awake. Motivate has got that. You've got peppermint plant and clementine peel. Straight off the bat, you can see you've got the citrus and the menthol coming together. And you've got a really interesting blend here. Coriander seed and basil herb, yuzu peel, melissa leaf flower, rosemary, and then vanilla bean, which is going to round that all out in a beautiful, sweet kind of aromatics. You've got the power of herbs, you've got the power of citrus, and you've got some menthol in there. It's giving you a really balanced aromatic profile. It works. You can pop it on your temples, behind your ears, along the back of your neck, or just quite simply pop it in the palm of your hand and take a big sniff, and it works really, really well to actually, not press snooze at 4 o'clock in the morning. You gave me this blend. Can you take me through this?
I would love to. So this is one of those blends that, now I'm sure that Jess, you would experience. You've got 2 littlies at home, but for me, sometimes I have a massive list for my weekends that I have so much that I want to achieve and do, or like clean the house. My list, there's a list for a list sometimes on the weekends. This is the perfect blend to give you that power movement. It will literally divide for you to be able to conquer whatever you're needing in that moment. So I call it the Power Hour blend. You've got the uplifting scent and aroma of peppermint, 2 drops there in your diffuser. I've got 2 drops of lime to give you that nice citrusy little smell as well, and then your Motivate as well. So 2 drops of each. The epitome of Power Hour is in that secret little blend there.
So good. I'm going to do that tomorrow when the alarm goes off, not at 4 a.m., but I have to get up to take the kids to swimming lessons. That's
my challenge for you all, is try the Power Hour blend with the Motivate and see how far you'll be able to take it.
Yeah, exactly. Good idea. And last but by no means least, Balance Touch. Balance Touch is an LTO.
It is a special oil.
Balance Touch normally. Balance is one of my favourites, is one of Emily Wright, one of our founders' favourites, I know, and it's a favourite in so many households for its incredible benefits. It's very calming with hoe wood and blue tansy and blue chamomile, but then it also has spruce, which is very high in bornyl acetate, which helps to promote relaxation and calmness. And then it also helps to ground and refocus and recenter with the thanks of frankincense and spruce. It is really unique. It's beautiful. It's appealing to so many. What do you love about Balance?
A secret, and you've heard Emily Wright talk about this too, is to actually pop Balance on the bottom of your feet first thing in the morning, because it sets you up for the most perfect day ever. Yeah. I've spoken a few times about, pure fumes and perfumes that I like to wear using my essential oils. I actually love combining Balance, and it is special in the touch form, but layering it with Whisper. So those 2 blends together is one of my go-tos in my regime of my kip style that I like to play with. So combining them 2, because it's soothing, it's grounding, it is almost like this instant harmonious feeling that you're given. And then when you pair it with the Whisper Touch or the Whisper oil, it is this unique complementary blend that I always, 99.9999% of the time, every time I wear that blend together, I will always get someone commenting on how I smell.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so here are a couple of different ways that you can use Balance. Like you've just mentioned, begin your day by popping Balance on the soles of your feet. It is pre-combined with fractionated coconut oil, so it's really convenient for everyday use. Remember that fractionated coconut oil, or any carrier oil for that instance, helps to isolate the essential oil. If you're applying an oil neat, which means that it's undiluted, that's really going to become a systemic style approach to the oils. It can go into the bloodstream and work its way through that way. However, if it's combined with fractionated coconut oil, it really targets that specific area. By popping it on the soles of your feet, you've actually got quite large pores on the soles of your feet. It's the quickest way for it to get into your system. But if you were to apply it on the back of your neck or on the behind your ears, for example, it's going to act as more of that perfume around that region, which is really beautiful. You can use it as a perfume, like you've mentioned. You can apply it along your jawline when you're feeling tense. If you find that you clench your jaw, if your tongue is constantly on the roof of your mouth, by applying it on your jaw, you're getting the aromatic benefit. You're smelling it in that region. It will help to support any tension. Roll Balance over your cuticles during the cooler months if you find that your nails and skin are cracked and dry. And apply Balance to your child's spine before they go to bed. That is a beautiful way to set their night up for success. And then you tell them to not go into your bed later on, because we have visitors most nights who say, I'm going to put some oils on your back. Please stay in your bed. That's the trick. Thank you so much, Dee, for all of your expertise and your vibrancy and your joy in your life. It's always so wonderful to talk with you and to work alongside you. And thank you for helping me share the message about our commitment to sharing the power of essential oils with the world. We all have a responsibility, a duty of care of sorts, to now pass this message on to others. We've been able to experience the power of the oils and convert toxins in our home, outside of the home, so that we can start relying on more natural solutions. And so those of you who are involved in the GROW program, who are really working hard to build your communities, this is a way that you can help us to triple our impact by 2030. Let's do ourselves and everybody else a service by communicating how impactful these oils can be. And with that, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today. It's always a delight to be on here talking with you, and we'll catch you next time for Unearthed. See you later.